Hello world, Qapla, it's Birdo Prey 5. Hopefully the sound is working. Let me check.
Hello world, Qapla,
yes,
it's Birdo Prey 5.
Yes, it is
Hopefully
working. Okay.
the sound is working.
Now we can lower the sound. There we go. There we go. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I tried to start a half hour ago. I realized Streamlabs, the chat widget, wasn't working still. So I said, well, I can use StreamYards, which is the interface where I can highlight each chat and it can show on the bottom as I read it. I said, well, that's better than nothing. However, StreamYards is a browser interface. It doesn't have a lot of fancy options. And truth be told, I never used it with the camera. I only was using it with my avatar. But I didn't think there would ever be a problem using it with the camera because so many YouTubers use it with the camera all the time. Of course, though, I went to use it with my camera, and nope, not working. Turns out that was a problem. So I was on with their support, which was helpful but slow, and they said just a moment, like 10 minutes later. I still had no answer. I was like, listen, I just got to go on. I can't wait for you.
7414.1. Our best estimates place us some 4 hours from Earth.
Thank you, Thomas Potts, for your $1.99 super chat, and thank you, John Araki, for your 99-cent super chat, which I believe you sent in the previous stream that I've now deleted. That short 2-minute stream or whatever it was. If anybody else sent a super chat or a donation through Streamlabs or anything, please let me know. I only saw the one super chat from John Araki on the YouTube list. I don't know if YouTube is slow or what. If somebody else sent a super chat, I missed it, okay? The only thing I saw was 99 cents from John Araki, and now the $1.99 from Thomas Potts. I thank you guys both so much. But if anybody else sent anything, please let me know. Because if I didn't talk about it already, I didn't see it, and I would hate to have missed something if somebody sent something. Yes, Wesley, this is the new stream. So yeah, so I ended up going back to my standard XSplit streaming. So I've got the camera, but we don't have the comments coming up, unfortunately, yet. I'm going to have to work on something. One way or another, we're going to have comments come Wednesday for that very special stream. Now, reminder, Deep Space Nine Wednesday has been moved to tomorrow, Tuesday, for this week, for a special stream on Wednesday. I know there was a lot of things going on in Space Engineers. The turds had done absolutely nothing for several days. Us Kurogans got bored. So I built a giant bird tower yesterday and into this morning. And there was nobody on. It was nobody. So I put a beacon on the top of the bird tower so that if any turds happened to get on, they could find their way to Rockwood, because obviously having them try to triangulate it from our previous stream was too hard for any Turdistani. So from what I hear, the turds finally decided to visit Rockwood and actually play the game a little. So we'll see what happens. But obviously Rockwood was one of several Kurogan strongholds. I didn't show you them all for obvious reasons. So maybe the turds are in the game. Maybe the game's working, right? Maybe the game is still working. I messaged Anti-Treeker this morning. He hasn't yet responded about whether he wanted to end this round or not, although I see my Skype is closed. So maybe he did respond. I don't know when my Skype closed. And now I'm getting an email from Streamlabs. Okay. So, Anti-Treeker did respond. My bad. I just had Skype closed. I just got a message from Thomas. He's taken down the tower. That was the bane of our existence. I would say this, since everyone keeps accusing everyone of either outright cheating or at least violating the spirit of the game, let's set up the limited world with the settings the way we want it, but no safe zones, no pre-built stuff, nothing, just a pure vanilla game. That sounds excellent. Okay, so after this stream sometime, I will work on set up a similar world to what we were on, but vanilla, no preset anything. Huh? Vanilla? Yeah. Mama Prey is saying that calling it a vanilla game is sounding racist to her. That's Anti-Treeker, such a racist. Okay, so now we got space engineers out of the way. Let's get to this chat. Wesley says, is this the new stream? Yes, Wes, it is, and thank you, everybody. I apologize for the flip-flop tonight. Joseph says, should we be bed life? It's the 11th. Bird is simply late. Did I miswrite the date in the title or something? I can't even see the title. Where's? I don't know. I thought I wrote the 11th of November. Livewood Matthew says, Qapla? Question mark. And Wesley says, Qapla! Exclamation point. And thank you, Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat. Being after 40, am I considered a veteran? No. Unless you served in the armed forces of your country, or actually any country, you're not technically a veteran, though, I get it, right? As I'm about to hit 41, I get it. I get what you're saying. Technically, though, no. Lightwood Matthews says, I'm not sure if it is or isn't a Qapla situation yet, lol. Wesley says, Bird fell off his bed. He'll be getting back up soon. I wish, Wes. I wish I could if I did. Lightwood Matthews says, today is a good day to have technical difficulties. It is. It is. And I see StreamYards emailed me about the negative feedback I gave them. Well, they ask at the end of every broadcast if you rate a thumbs up or a thumbs down and why. Well, I said thumbs down for the first time. Why? Because I couldn't stream. I wanted the camera. The camera didn't work. I said, okay, I'll do just the avatar. And even with the avatar, the audio didn't work. And what's worse is that I saw you guys weren't hearing me. But on my side, I could see you got StreamYards around the avatar. There's the gray box, the gray circles that come out as you speak. So the louder you speak, the bigger the gray circles get. So on my side, I could see the gray circles were working, which means StreamYards was hearing the sound. But on the YouTube stream, there were no gray circles, which means StreamYard wasn't transmitting the sound. So that was definitely a StreamYards issue. That was not a Bird of Prey 5 issue. So yes, I gave them a downvote. I don't know what they have to say about it, but I'm a little annoyed. I do pay a monthly fee for that, and it's the first time it failed me, to be honest. But I haven't used it that much. If it was the first in 100 times that it failed me, I'd say okay. But this is like the first in 8 times it's failed me, so that's not a great starting average. Wesley says, I'm watching some Bird of Prey while I wait for this slow YouTuber to be ready to stream. Thank you, Wes. Lightwood Matthews says, I'm in project planning frustration. The equipment I need to do a project is outpacing my desired budget to make it an attractive bid. Well, that's always a problem. Thomas Potts says hi. Josh Street says, what sound? Lightwood Matthews says, yes, Qapla for real. Wesley's Bird of Prey, you're alive. I heard that you fell off the bed. That's fake news, Wes. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello in Qapla. Hello in Qapla. Derek McManus says, greetings, Bird of Prey. Hope you are well. Question mark. Yeah, well enough. Well enough, Derek. And greetings to the chat. Wesley Crutcher says, greetings from California. Well, greetings, Wesley. Not Ryan Johnson says, that was a long Jaloja bird. No, it wasn't a Jaloja. I'll probably have to Jaloja a little later. Thomas Bott says, it's okay. Kroger has a lot of tech issues now. Yeah, I've heard. I heard that the power was out in Kuroga. Is that what you said in the last stream, Thomas? Wesley says, greetings, birds, turds, nerds, and other Z. Other Z. Chris M. Collecting says, power is out in Rock. Oh, it was Chris M. who said it. Power is out in Rockwood, I think. Yeah. I haven't looked into the game today at all. I've been working on my channel, which is something we'll get into in a few minutes. Josh Street says, Thomas Kuroga doesn't know what tech is. Come on, Tom. Kuroga is the most advanced nation in space engineers. We were so advanced, we sacrificed an entire city just to draw the turds out. Rockwood was just a hoax, a trap, if you will. Now we know the turd. Now we know where they are. Now we can destroy them. We had to give them a little bit of stuff. We had to give them some easy targets, right? The turds were all angry that they couldn't win right away. Things got off to a slow start for Turdistan. So we had to make a bunch of easy targets. I had to make a video showing them where everything was. And even that didn't coax them out of their holes, like the scared gophers or whatever they might have been. I had to literally build the bird tower out of solid gold. I had to move the anti-server player from the restaurant to this throne I built at the top of the bird tower, which had the best views and it had 360-degree rotation. It had a rotating throne. So you could just sit in the throne and it would just turn and you could see all Kuroga in all directions. And you could also take immediate control of the turrets and the whatnots on the bird tower. Only when I jacked up the range of because the beacon has a default range of 5,000 meters, but since the main base was almost 18 kilometers away, I knew that the turds would never see it. So I had to bump up the broadcast range to 40 kilometers so that the turds would see it as soon as they log in. They would see an enemy signal, and only then did it finally get them to come out and to engage a little in the game. I think it was a complete success, even though it was easy targets. Mission accomplished. Thank you. Wesley says, Mike Rigids, how is Columbus, Ohio? I hear we're getting snow here tomorrow, and I think it's there today. Continuum Track says, everyone have a good Remembrance Day. Hi, Bird of Prey 5. Welcome, Continuum Track. Yes, Remembrance Day, Veterans Day, whatever you call it. I hope all of our veterans and all of the loved ones of our veterans, even Anti-Treeker, I hope everybody is having a happy, healthy Veterans Day. I mean, I know the reality is there are a lot of our veterans who are suffering from physical and mental issues. And, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear when anybody has to suffer from those things. But, there's also a lot of them that aren't, that are decently, okay. And regardless of whether you're in column A or column B, I just hope you are having the best Veterans Day you could be having. Truly, to just think about how people, and for a long time now, and there were still some people who were drafted into Vietnam who are out there. But for a long, long time now, America has had an all-volunteer army, all-volunteer military, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. That so many people hear the call. And yes, some people just do it because they think it's a way to pay off their student loans or to go to college for free, and they never intended to fight in a war. But whether they intended to or not, many people did, and they did their duties. And, whether you thought the wars that we've been in lately have been valid or not, these people put their lives on the line to protect us in this country, and to protect free people in the other allied countries around the world, and people from other nations have fought on behalf of us as well. So a true deep thank you to everybody out there who has ever put their life on the line, whether it was in combat or even just shit happens during training. People get killed training. So if they put whatever they did, if they were in the military, you've got an extra dose of respect from me today and every day. And I just hope that many, many people feel the way I do. That said, you fought for freedom of speech, so I'm not saying I'm going to agree with you, but I thank you for letting me get on YouTube and say whatever the hell I want, and nobody besides YouTube is going to do anything about it. Certainly no one in the government. So thank you. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, great bird of the internet. Thank you, Mike Richards. Derek McManus says, I saw The Irishman in cinema last night. Interesting movie. Yes, The Irishman. I was actually going to bring it up. I think it's on I think it's coming to Netflix at the end of this month in the United States. But The Irishman has Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci. I mean, Jesus, the triple crown of some legendary actors. Their politics, their politics is bullshit. But I can look past that. And they were all wonderful, wonderful actors for the vast, vast majority of their career. Holy shit. Joe Pesci is one of those people, I don't think he made a bad movie. He made some movies that were a little out there. I don't think he's made a bad movie. Robert De Niro, I'm not sure I can think of a bad movie from him. And Al Pacino, too. But for the longest part of my life, I thought Robert De Niro and Al Pacino were the same person. I don't know why. I just had their names crossed in my head. And every time I said Robert De Niro, I thought I was talking about Al Pacino. Every time I said Al Pacino, I thought I was talking about Robert De Niro. I just had the same face in my head for both of them. And they just shared the same name, memory space. I don't know what. It was only 12 years ago that I finally realized, holy shit, those are two different actors. I thought they were the same actor. I thought the same actor in Scarface was in Meet the Fockers. I'm want to see Irishman, Derek, so I do plan on seeing it as soon as I can. I thought I saw November 20th as the release date here in the States on Netflix. Darth Kilhoun says, Bird, last Friday I was sworn in to the U.S. Army. As the only enlisted man, I stood as honor guard in the Veterans Day ceremony. Darth Calhoun, congratulations. You've got a hard journey ahead of you, I'm sure you know. But Godspeed, sir. I wish you the best, and I hope it treats you well. I hope you get out of it what you're looking for, sir. I know, you're a lot younger than me, but still, I think you've earned it. Thomas Botts is only a few days until Frank and Freddie anniversary. Wesley says, Happy Veterans Day 2019. Thank you all vets and active duty indeed. Not Ryan Johnson says, when are you getting a Sinatra sticker, Bird? You know, Ryan Johnson, that's a great idea. I have to find a Sinatra sticker now. Old Blue Eyes. And a Jeep sticker. We get a Jeep sticker or Sinatra sticker for this corner, and then the other one for down here in the middle. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Good thinking. Yeah. John Street says, Track Yards is streaming to stay or go. It's your call, Josh Street. Thomas Potts says, Darth Calhoun, congratulations indeed. Mike Richards says, Wesley Crusher, cold rain turning to ice and snow. That is our forecast for tomorrow. Mamo Prey is not happy. She is not happy. She does not like the cold and likes the snow even less. Not Ryan Johnson says, every day is Frank and Freddie Day. Wesley says, Mike Richards, it's upper 70s in California, but it's California. Carlo Albanese says, hi, I hope you are well. Thank you, Carlo. I am okay. Wesley says, Mike Richards, but there's a tax on warm days now. John DeMarco says, hi, everyone. Hello, John DeMarco. What's that noise from outside? You got the window open. Oh, somebody's walking their dog. Jesus. I think the guy's angry at his dog. That's sad. Okay. Thomas says, no, the game still has issues. Sure, Thomas. Sure it does. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I have a base in space. Yes, Wesley. We might have to be falling back to your base. Joseph says, what happened? Waiting for the stream, writing to Bop, and first, no notification, then weird stuff. Joseph, I tried to start the stream using StreamYards first, because the widget is still out for the comments. And then StreamYard screwed up. I had to end the StreamYard stream, and then I had to restart using XSplit, which took a few minutes to get it set up. So this is actually the second stream of tonight. The first one I deleted because it was only a couple minutes long and there was no sound. Thomas Potts says, vanilla, frack, no, I want chocolate. 47 Yorktown says, hello again, Mr. Bird. Welcome, 47 Yorktown. Wesley, Bird of Prey, a pure vanilla game, deathmatch style. Derek says, Darth Calhoun, I swore into the British Army in 1990 for 2 years, then went back and joined the Royal Navy Reserve and did another 12 years. Wow. Zethon says, Viva Bolivia. Yeah, guys, Bolivia has been having some, I was going to talk about it because it is Veterans Day. Bolivia has been having tons and tons of protests for the last few weeks, and that is something I have not heard anybody anywhere in the U.S. news has anybody talked about what's been going on in Bolivia. But the people were protesting like crazy because their president, they had an election recently, and they did some shady stuff where they stopped counting votes for a day, and then the next day, the president won by like 0.1% of the vote. And like, oh, okay. And he had 1.1% less they would have had to do a runoff election. And everybody got pissed. Everybody protested. And they were just in total chaos. Police were storming government buildings. It was almost on the verge of civil war. I don't know what happened, but yesterday, apparently, the president finally stepped down. So hopefully Bolivia can get back to normal. And in Chile is having terrible protests as well. And on Doomcock's stream last night, somebody mentioned that he lives in Chile. The protesters are being shot by police, not with bullets, but with rubber bullets. But the police are apparently aiming at the faces of the protesters, and over 200 people have lost eyes. They've lost eyes, some of them 2 eyes, since this protesting began, which is crazy. And of course, there's still the issues going on in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is protesting, demonstrating for their freedoms. And it's like we never hear about this stuff here in the United States. There are people that are doing their best to get the freedoms that we enjoy. And they're out there. We should not forget that. Or whatever country we live in, if it's a free, mostly free country, which I think most of us live in mostly free countries, or you wouldn't be allowed on YouTube. We should be thankful. Yosef says, being 40, am I considered a veteran? Yes. No, technically not, Yosef, but I understand. Carlo says, hopefully I'll be able to join with the new round bird of prey. Very cool, Carlo. Mike Richards says, Wesley Crusher during an Ohio winter. A lot of us would take that trade. Oh, taxes, yes. Wesley says, Joseph, did you serve in some way to your country? Joseph says, the comment about being late was before the stream. Just ignore it. Okay. Easily ignored, Joseph. Joseph says, Wesley, I set up several servers around the country and sold way more. Wesley says, Joseph, I don't think that counts. And Joseph says, neither do I. Thomas Potts says, for some reason, no Kurogan will answer. Why is the anti-server inside the bird tower? He was inside the bird tower because I decided to move him in there so he could have a beautiful 360-degree view as he rotates on the throne of the bird tower instead of just looking at the corner of the restaurant all the time. Just in case you guys didn't decide to attack it and it was actually up in the background for one of Anti-Treeker's streams. But maybe you killed him, so. Captain MKG says 100th. 100th what? Joseph says, and of course, obligatory greetings. Hi, Joe, Mama Pray, Sassy, and the flock. Thank you, Joseph. Chris M. Collecting says, Bird of Prey, Kurogans cheated again, moving the anti-server to their base. It wasn't cheating. It doesn't help the base in any way. Wesley says, Joseph, I've been to lots of military situations, but those don't count. Thomas says, guess no one will find my base. Derek McManus says, it's a trap. It's a trap. Chris M. Collecting says, when I found T-Berg's base and destroyed it yesterday, it was more satisfying than destroying Rockwood today. More fake bases you guys got. Joseph Patrick says, Wesley Crusher, I killed many Germans in multiple versions of Wolfenstein. That is my career in the military. Thomas says, it didn't look like it rotated to me, well, until they fell. Oh, it was on a rotating rotor. It was on a rotor. It was constantly rotating. Very slowly, but it was rotating. Mike Richards says, I'm a veteran of the Stoner Wars. Does that count? No. No, it does not. Wesley Chris M, my space base is not defended if you can find it. I don't even think they can get to space, Wes. Thomas says, I wish I could be like Bird of Prey without smiling. I don't know what you mean, Thomas. Surf Trictronics says, Where is the so-and-so Joe stream go? I like that one. I'm sorry, Surf. Especially Surf Trictronics, I meant like fellow along with Anti-Treeker, not with me. But another veteran out there, as is Anti-Treeker, Surf Trictronics. Thank you, Surf, for your service. John Street says, Bird of Prey, snow tomorrow. Does that mean you're going out to play in the snow? No, it does not. Thomas Potts says, Wesley, it's more fun to go after Bird Base. I love hearing BS excuses. Well, I haven't given any excuses. I just said it was a trap. John Street says, now Laura is streaming. Yeah, I saw first Trek Yard started streaming, then Laura started streaming. Hey, but we got 25 people. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Speaking of those things, I guess now's as good a time as any. I got to talk about the channel. Specifically, the future of the channel. Anti-Treeker is at the verge of 10,000 subscribers. Doomcock has, I think he's gotten like 8,000 subscribers in the last 36 hours. Incredible rise. He hit 70,000 just a few days ago, and now he's over 85,000. Yeah. 85,000. He's just going tremendously into the stratosphere. Nerdrotic, we know, is already well up into the 150s or something, 160,000. And they all have the same advice. You have to unlist your live streams when they're done. And I didn't want to do it for the longest time. However, I've started, and I have a lot. I have over 350 live streams to get through. I got through about 200 of them so far today. I started with the oldest ones. I am unlisting them. However, they will still be easily accessible on YouTube, so you don't have to go to a website to get to them. If you go to my page on YouTube, you can find my playlists, and they're still accessible if you go to them by playlist. So I have a Bed Life playlist. I have a City Skylines playlist, right? I have a Deep Space Nine playlist or a Star Trek playlist. So I have these playlists already. But I added a new playlist just called Live, parentheses, Unlisted. So every single live stream that I'm unlisting, I'm adding to this playlist as I go. So if you ever want to get an older stream, you can either go to the category it was in, if it was a Bed Life, if it was a City Skylines, if it was a Deep Space Nine, you can find it that way. Or you can just go, if you just want to look at all the old unlisted streams, go to Live Unlisted, and they'll be in the order they were released, or the reverse order they were released. I gotta figure out how. I guess I'm going to do it most recent on top. So this will all be set up by tomorrow, I assume. So you'll still be able to get to all my streams. So they'll still work as long as you have the link, right? If you have the link from your email or from antitrekker.com, they will work. And if you don't have the link, if you go to YouTube and just go to the playlist for what you want to watch, the direct link from the playlist will still work. I'm not going to be deleting the videos. I'm just going to be unlisting them, which means they're still available if you have the link. And if they're in a playlist, they're still available. The only thing that won't happen is that YouTube will not attempt to, YouTube's not going to recommend unlisted videos. So instead, YouTube, maybe my channel gets 100 recommendations. Instead of 80 of them being, 3-hour long live streams, that somebody watches 5 minutes of, and YouTube says, oh, that's 0.1% of the video, I guess nobody likes his videos. They instead watched 5 minutes of a 30-minute video that I did, like, a Star Trek Picard review, break trailer review, or the top 5 episodes of TOS. And they said, oh, they watched, 5 minutes of a 30-minute video. That's not too bad. And then they give me another 100 recommendations. And I believe that's kind of how the algorithm works. So we're going to try. We're going to try. I've been very, very slowly gaining subscribers. I've been teetering at 1504 now for like a week. For the last month, I think I went from 1490 to 1505, and then I dropped one down at 1504. So a net gain of like 14 or 15 subscribers in 30 days. It's not bad, but it's not great, especially when channels like Anti-Treeker and larger channels are seeing much bigger percent increases than I'm seeing. And what they all do in common is they all unlist their live videos. So I got to do it. I'm trying to do it in a way that you guys have the least, I don't want it to affect you guys at all, to be completely blunt about it. I want you guys to be able to find my content just as easily as you always have. So if you guys do have problems finding my content, please let me know. If you're having trouble, and I will try to figure something out. If I need to make a specific web page that has a link to all the videos, I'll do that. I think that the playlists idea will work. I think I have to rearrange my channel page to add more playlists to be visible, but I believe the playlist options will work. So that's what's going on. I've been doing that for a good part of the day today. Just going through all my old videos, all my old live streams, and unlisting them and adding them to the new playlist. I also found a few city skylines that were accidentally put into the bed life playlist, and a few bed lives that were in the city skylines playlist. So I fixed those guys. I moved them to the correct playlist. So that's what's going on. I hope it helps. I'd love to see the channel grow, because I have this sneaking suspicion that YouTube is going to up their minimums again, right? They upped their minimum for a lot of things from 100 to 1,000, and I have a feeling that they're about to up again from 1,000 to 10,000. And I don't know if that means I might lose super chats or I mean, the advertising I couldn't care less about, because it's cents. But the YouTube Premium actually brings in a few bucks when YouTube Premium people watch the content. But the super chats I would hate to lose. So
the super chat money is how you feed me.
Mama Pray is saying the super chat money is how I feed her. Yes, and I see Anti-Treeker just sent me a screenshot of I was wiping my face, and he's titled it I'm picking my nose. And he compares it to Lori Loaded. Thank you, Anti-Treeker. So yeah. Oh, speaking of the channel, Mama Pray, can you hand me what I got today? I did get a YouTube recognition of something. So it was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it. So I'll show you guys. Here, I got something here that Anti-Treeker doesn't have yet. But here, look at this. Look at this. I got a YouTube play button. It's silver and gold, which means it's better. It's better than the silver button because it's got a little gold in it. And it says, congratulations to BirdOPrey5 for being the best YouTuber in Karoga, Qapla. Wasn't that nice? And they even got my avatar. They got my avatar printed on there, and you got the YouTube logo. And yes, this is some glass, and it's a metal button made out of real silver and 24 karat gold. I assume. That was really cool. I'm very happy. I gotta find a way to put this up now. Well, not over there. Maybe we can put this up somewhere in the back there. Yeah. So very cool. It's not fake, Wesley. It's real. You see it? It's real. Okay? It's real. I don't know if you can touch it. It's real. I don't know what fake. Fake. Who the hell makes fake YouTube buttons? See, this is what happens. People, they get so used to fake news, they start thinking everything's fake. Say, you tell them, Sassy. Wesley says Josh Street lore is boring compared to Bird. Wesley, lore's not boring. He just streams about different things. Although I'll be honest, I watch lore streams whenever I can. Honestly, if I can't watch them live, I 99% of the time watch them afterwards. But I will not watch Lore and Keltwalski streams. If I wanted to watch Keltwalski, I'd watch his own channel. No offense to Lore, and Lore has a 60,000+ subscribers. He doesn't need me watching every one of his videos, but I can't take Keltwalski. I just can't. And Keltwalski has like 30,000 subscribers or something, so they are both far bigger than me, but I will not watch lore videos that feature Keltwalski. Yes, Mama, right?
I have a question.
Yes, I have an answer, maybe.
No, you don't. You haven't seen it.
Oh.
Every time I point it out, it goes up the screen, and you don't see it.
Okay.
It's a pizza commercial. I don't know if it's Domino's, Pizza Hut, or Papa John's. Anybody see the commercial with a guy with blue wig on?
Okay, so Mama Prey is asking if anybody's seen the commercial. She doesn't know if it's Pizza Hut, Domino's, or Papa John's, something like that. But apparently a guy with a blue wig. A long, what? 3 inches or so, long wig hair.
I swear the face looks like one.
Mama Prey thinks that the person wearing that wig looks like Lore Reloaded. And now I have to see if I can find this. Now I have to see if I can find this commercial. Well, I don't want to fall too far behind. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that goes on in the commercial that I could search for? Blue wig pizza commercial. We'll take a shot in the dark and see. Pizza Hut $10 deal or Domino's salads commercial. Let me shut the audio off just to see. Are you settling for the same old? This doesn't have anybody's face. There's no blue wig. Well, there was no blue hair in that one, so if you find it, let me know. Okay. Thomas Potts puts up a link. John DeMarco says, sounds authentic as the Bolivian election. And Thomas Potts puts up a link. Oh my God. Somebody is selling fraudulent YouTube buttons. That's terrible. I'll have to tell YouTube. I don't know why eBay is saying that I bought this item, but that's total malarkey. So yeah, so Mama Prey thinks that Laura has blue hair, I guess. Josh Reed says Wesley Bird is boring compared to when he's not crashing his ships. Mike Richards says Laura is a sweet transvestite. Oh, come on, people. Wesley says Josh Reed true Bird needs to crash more. Josh Reed says Wesley, yes, now has crashed his own stream. He needs to go bigger now. We're going to crash the internet. Miss Londell says Irishman will be on Netflix on the 27th of this month. Very cool. Thank you. I knew it was the end of the month. That's even later, though. Anti-Treeker says, hey, all. Who has not made a bad movie? Joe Pesci. John Street says, hi, Anti-Treeker. And Josh Street, Anti-Treeker, you missed Bird crashing his own stream earlier. Miss Londell says, De Niro, bad movie. Meet the Fockers. Meet the Fockers was hilarious. Wesley says Bird gets people mixed up. That's true. Anti-Treeker is working with Miles on the next Borg video. Thomas says De Niro is a hateful a-hole. And listen, just see past the politics. Wesley says Anti-Treeker, a Borg video. No way. Mike Richards says greetings to Anti-Treeker. Yosef says Anti-Treeker, greetings to you and O'Brien. Oh, Miles. Thomas says Anti-Treeker, hello, you missed more Bird BS about the attack. So there was an attack. Live with Matthew says, I watched the TNG episode with the Irish settlers. It was a just crazy stereotype episode, though not their first, to be fair. But not racist. It's just a stereotype. Josh reads as Anti-Treeker, so does that mean you're Borg Queen and Mr. Miles is a Borg drone? Could be. Chris Sam says, Darth Calhoun, thank you for your current and future service. Indeed. Serve says, didn't the Irish almost wipe out 5 families not long ago? No comment. Anti-Treeker says, Wesley Crusher, yes, a real Borg video, and if I may say so, the best one yet. But of course that's what you would say. John DeBargo says, that was a rough episode, Matthew. Miss Londell says, Anti-Treeker, so this is what, episode 200 of the Borg Epic. He said he was starting the Borg over. Chris M says, Bird of Prey, there's a pink Sinatra sticker on Amazon. Well, it's going to stay on Amazon, because I'm not getting it. Anti-Treeker says, someone send him a sticker of Frank and Freddy kissing for the center of the laptop. A, there was no such sticker, and B, even if there was, it would not be going on the laptop. Wesley says, Anti-Treeker, back in the days when I subbed to you, memories. Thomas Potts says, Snow, where is the global warming? Shronmore says, greetings, Bird of Prey 5, Mama Prey 5, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. And greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and Sassy, say it with me, scourge of the squirrels. She's a little behind. Wesley Crusher says, Thomas Potts, the global warming is where I am. Want some. And let's see. Okay. So Mama Pray can't find the commercial. I'll have to look at it next time it comes on. Thomas is falling back is what Kuroga does best. We're not falling back. Mike Richards' fun fact, when Ted Turner released the first colorized movie, they gave Sinatra brown eyes. Of course they would. The world wasn't ready for his blue eyes yet. Wesley Crusher, Bird of Prey, no, there is no room up here, only one bedroom in my base. We'll expand it a little, Wes. Thomas Potts says, Wesley, maybe a few hours we could use some global warming. Anti-Treeker says, Happy Veterans Day all. As a vet myself, I am proud to have volunteered to protect a country that would allow Frank and Freddie to be married. They wouldn't have allowed it back then. Thomas Potts is lolling, of course, back then, meaning both back when Frank and Freddie were actually alive, and also back in the day when Anti-Treeker was in the military between the War of 1812 and the Civil War. Thomas lolled. Joseph says Wesley Bird comes with bed. That's true. Anti-Treeker says want to have some fun, play the stream at 0.5 speed. Why? Wesley says Anti-Treeker, thank you for your service. Now get back to work. Uncle Remus says I don't think I'll ever get over the Macho Grande. Macho Grande. Day in Macho Grande. Thomas Potts, did you ever hear of the Hong Kong police shooting protesters on camera? No, I did not. Zethon says, why does Joe know so much about Bolivia? I don't know. It's almost like I have a friend who keeps sending me stuff about the going-ons in Bolivia. Wesley says, Anti-Treeker, I watch Bird at 1.5x speed if I'm behind or if it's recorded. Thomas says, Zethon, Bird of Prey is playing both sides against each other. Excellent. Surf Trictronics says Central South America has been a proxy war for 6 months now. Anti-Treeker says Wesley, yeah, but play at 0.5 for a few minutes, then at 2x to catch back up. Loads of fun for the whole fam. Well, that sounds like a family that's in distress, Anti-Treeker. If watching at 0.5x speed and then 2.5x does something. Okay. Where are we? Zethon says Thomas Potts, Joe was a big Morales supporter when I started telling him about Bolivia a couple of weeks ago. Fact, Joe supported a socialist. I supported the legitimately elected president of Bolivia. Miss Londell says, so Bolivia has a fascist in charge. He was a socialist, and he was replaced by an even bigger socialist. Anti-Treeker says at 0.25 speed, you will think you're on drugs. And Thomas is shaking his head with Zethon. Zethon says they had a socialist running the country for 14 years. Joseph says Anti-Treeker at 2x speed is like watching Kowalski. Bastard. Wesley says Anti-Treeker, oh God, why did you tell me to do that? And Anti-Treeker is saying, lol, it's like crack. So Anti-Treeker is sharing crack with his family. Wesley says Anti-Treeker 1.5x speed is better. Yeah, don't give Anti the crack, Anti-Treeker. Donnie Pearson says hello, Bird of Prey 5 and all from the greater Seattle area. And happy Veterans Day, America. Yes. Happy Remembrance Day, Canada. Happy Armistice Day, Britain, France, and Belgium. Thank you, Donnie. Miss Lundell says Zethon, socialist, fascist, different sides of the same coin. Joseph says we're 10 likes short. Thank you, Joseph. Yes, reminder people, please, if you can, hit that like button. It makes a big difference to YouTube, which I guess makes a difference to me. Wesley says at 2x speed, Bird talks almost as fast as Ben Shapiro. And Treeker says yes, but at 0.25, reality warps and folds in on itself. Schronwar says my military career consisted of 3 years in Cub Scouts, and I once completed Half-Life. I think Half-Life, I got it covered. Yeah, my military career consisted of playing Call of Duty 2 on PlayStation 3 multiplayer from level 1 to level 52 or 54, whatever the top level was. I made it. Captain MKG, Bird of Prey. I meant 100th in chat. Oh, right. 100th in chat. He was being Pensy about being first in the last stream. Gotcha. Wesley says Anti-Treeker 0.25 speed almost crashed my computer. Joseph 0.25 is black hole. 0.5 is drunk Opry. Zethon says Miss Lindell's groovy movie. Sure, yes, that's how things work. I've got top chat on. Damn it. If I put it to live chat, I could lose half the chat. I gotta stay on top chat. I'm sorry. Wesley says Bird of Prey, when are you going to be on Midnight's Edge? I have no idea, Wes. I have not been invited. Lightworth Matthews says unlist the live streams. It's kind of sad to have to do that to a channel. I know it sucks, but I want to try Life with Matthew. If we could get more subscribers, if it would help spread the word of the bird. I owe it to myself and to you guys to try. Like I said, the streams will still be available. They'll still be available on YouTube. They're just gonna be unlisted. There's ways to make them visible, just they don't get the recommendations. John DeMarco says it's a shame you have to unlist the streams. Hope it helps your channel. I do too. And listen, if it doesn't help the channel, if in a month we haven't seen any better growth than we did the month before, then I'll stop doing it. But it's worth a shot. Surf Trictronics is Bird. I was a POG map maker, so that counts as 25%. Understood? Not really. I don't know any about what does that mean. A POG map maker. Joseph says the thing is you need to put out more content, like 10-minute videos on topics because your channel is mostly live streams. Yes, I know that, Joseph. And I have a ton of ideas of videos to put out. And truth be told, there was also something else I was going to do. I wasn't going to bring it up, but just so you guys know, I do a tech support. I'm a contractor for tech support for a forum company, a web forum company. I've been doing it a few years. It's very, very part-time, but it does take some time of the time that I could be using to do more YouTube videos. So I think that I'm going to tell them I'm going to give, by contract, I think I have to give them 30 days notice. So I think I'm going to tell them towards the end of this month that I want to be done. I don't intend to do anything past the new year. So hopefully by January 1st, I'll have more time on my hands to devote to YouTube. Which is good and bad. I mean, listen, if I can make YouTube work at least as good as it's working now, that's not bad. And if I can improve it, twice as good or something, that would be great. Because it is some money I'll be giving up if I leave the job, but I think I'm at a point now where I have to make a choice, and I'd rather choose YouTube, even if it means less money. I'd rather choose YouTube. Wesley says, I agree with Joseph. More short videos on topics of the normal. I agree, Wes. Joseph says, Anti-Treeker Fantasy Island trailer is out. Zethon is unsubscribing. Mr. Miles says, first, Mr. Miles is supposed to be working on a Borg video. Chris says, I believe Wesley and Joseph may be on to something, more short videos, but with your live streams, perhaps move them to your secondary channel. Well, Chris, moving them to the secondary channel, we'd lose all the comments. So I just think if I leave them unlisted, that's probably better for everyone. Mr. Miles is a little turdy reminder. Bird of Prey 5 was live. A little turdy reminded me Bird of Prey was live. Well, thank you, Mr. Miles. Or the little turdy person, who's probably not so little, unless he is a hobbit. Joseph says, Mr. Miles, you should be editing. And Mr. Miles tells Joseph, give him money. Thomas says, Wild Bird doesn't feed his mind. Anti-Treeker says, check Skype, best picture ever to share with the gang. Oh, so you want me to share that with the gang? I thought that was a private message. Let's see. Let's see. Will it work? Oh shit! I didn't even talk about this. It's completely different. Okay. I can't bring it up now, Anti-Treeker. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But basically it's me. It's me that looks like I'm scratching my nose. It looks like I'm picking my nose. And Lori loaded. I read it out. Surf Trictronics says, Bird, YouTube will never increase the super chat number because they get 30%. You know, Surf, you would think that. But then why don't they just make it 0 for everybody? Why don't they let everybody get super chats? Wesley says, that's fake. It's not fake. It's real. I can touch it. It's real. Uncle Remus is okay. Who sent Bird the fake award? Mr. Miles says, I'm going to start an editor's award. You should. Wesley says, Bird stole that from Lore. Thomas Potts says, show the certificate of authenticity. There is no certificate. Uncle Remus has put it up on eBay. Why? Why would they put it on eBay? Sci-Fi Nation says Qapla, Bird Prey 5 Qapla, Sci-Fi Nation. Wesley Lowles. Uncle Remus says Anti-Treeker, shame on you. Chris M. Collecting says Bird of Prey, I agree with you. That's a real fake play button. Mr. Miles says the Bird of Prey, does it say made in China? It does not. Joseph says, wrong tree, Mr. Miles. Lol, I am subscriber and a super chatter. Surf Trictronics says, I think I understand sassy language now. Anti-Treeker says, you want to have a whole lot of fun. Play Bird at 0.25 and Laura at 0.25 at the same time. Oh man, my head hurts. Joseph says, better than knee. John DeMarco says, sounds authentic as the Bolivian election. And then Thomas puts a link to an eBay where you could buy a fake YouTube play button for some reason if you'd want to. Mr. Miles says, Joseph, yes, but I want you to give me money directly. Thomas says, buy your own YouTube award. Azine says, Bird of Prey 5 and fellow nerds, happy Armistice Veterans Day to all of you, especially any veterans that were here in chat. Yes. To the veterans in the chat and wherever they might be. Surf Trictronics wants a Mom O'Prey story for Veterans Day, maybe?
I have a story, but
no, it doesn't have to do with Veterans Day. You want to do the story? Yeah, you got time now?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom O'Prey will do the story for the veterans. No, it's for everybody, but because Surf asked.
Yeah.
So let me take the camera off so Mom O'Prey feels comfortable coming up. Yeah, camera's off. Camera's off.
Hi all. I would say good evening, but it might not be evening where you are. My thanks to all the veterans of any country. If you served your military, we're thankful. Or at least I am. I'm sure Bert is.
Yes.
Sassy, I'm not sure about, but she serves in the Kuroga military as a spy, so thank you, Sassy. Okay, all kidding aside, it's getting cold here, and they actually use the S word in the weather forecast. What's going to start off as rain tomorrow night, as the temperature drops to 24 degrees, is going to turn into that S word. I'm not happy, but it does bring to mind a cute story. At least I still think it's cute. This goes back, Bird of Prey was maybe 10 years old. And it had snowed quite a bit. He was actually in the house, or right in front of the house. But he really didn't have anything to do with what took place. There were a couple of older kids, one of his best friend's brother, and a couple of other kids, teenagers. And they were on a street that was pretty busy. It was, two-way street. Cars travel pretty quickly down the street. So they thought they would throw some snowballs at the cars as they passed. And most of the cars just kept going. Well, I hear yelling. And we live right across the street on the corner. Not the corner they were throwing from. They were across the way. And this lady stopped her car. And today we would call her a senior citizen. And she was yelling at the kids. I thought the poor woman was going to have a heart attack. So I go to the door and I yell at the kid that she's yelling at. And I yelled, "George, what did you do? I'm going to tell your mother." And I'm screaming like I'm really screaming. And then the woman calmed down and she said, "You know his mother?" I said, "Oh, yes." I said, "When she gets home from work, I'm going to tell her what he did. This is terrible. He's always doing things like this. George, you better get back to your house now." Well, the lady calmed down and she left. So after she left, Kenny came over to me and said, "Thank you. There was no George ever." But I said, "Kenny, don't throw snowballs at anybody's car anymore. The next guy could have a gun." But I figured, he was a kid, he was playing, the lady was upset. I thought it was a good way.
The situation.
Yes, I thought it was a good way to calm everybody down.
You diffuse the situation by lying to a senior citizen.
Yes. You do it all the time to me.
I lie to you all the time.
Well, if you have to, you would diffuse the situation by lying to me.
What if I lie to you?
Oh, I don't think you ever have, but I'm sure you must have. I'm kidding. I know you don't lie to me, son. Every day I ask you, "Did you get up and take a walk last night?" You tell me no. And I know you're not lying. Anyway, guys, that was my cute story. I just figured it was a story. It was the truth, though. Everybody have a good rest of your night. And I know you don't lie to me, son. I know.
And Thomas says, "And there is the proof that Bird of Prey lies." Great. Great. I've been besmirched by my own mother.
No.
So Wesley Crusher asked Thomas, "Thanks. Now can I have my own fake YouTube plaque?" Josh says, "Thomas, that is something Bird would buy." Joseph says, "But you're not editing my videos and we're not married, Mr. Miles." Chris M. Collecting says, "Bird of Prey, NYPD fraud unit contacted again." Contacted for what? Allegedly fake YouTube plaque? They can check it. It's legit. Sci-Fi Nation is Bird of Prey, Anti-Treeker, all hail. Bird of Prey 5 greater than Anti-Treeker. All hail Kuroga. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. Chris Purser. Welcome, Chris. As Anti-Treeker, how could you make me do that? 1/4 speed lore and bird at the same time made me feel like the French archaeologist in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, jeez. Anti-Treeker says Joe Pesci never made a bad movie. Home Alone 2, JFK. I'm dancing as fast as I can. Hey, let's twist. Yeah, never made a bad one. I enjoyed Home Alone 2. JFK? JFK was a bad movie? And I don't know what the hell these other ones you're even talking about are. So, if he was in those, I never saw them. So they don't count. Miss Londell says, Analyze This was a funny movie. Analyze That was a funny movie. Meet the Fockers was pathetic. Meet the Fockers is one of the best movies out there. Everybody loves Meet the Fockers. I mean, I can understand if you don't, Miss Londell, but you have to understand that the prevailing, I bet Meet the Fockers has a pretty decent number on, well, I don't know whether there's a legitimate movie rating site anymore, but if we had a legit movie rating site, I bet it would have a pretty good score. And Yosef says JFK was a bad movie. Yeah, that's why I don't get either. Uncle Remus says Joe Pesci, bad movie. How about 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag? I liked 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. Yeah, Mama Prey thought it was funny too. And the Trigger says, well, made, but I'm not into propaganda. Wesley says Home Alone 2 was not a bad movie. I agree. Sci-Fi Nation's Anti-Treeker, those were some of his best ones, but Goodfellas was number 1. Goodfellas and or Casino, it's close. It is so close. And Home Alone 2 had a certain future president in it. How can that be a bad movie? Sci-Fi Nation says best. Okay, yeah. Wesley says Home Alone 3 was bad. That is true. I haven't seen Home Alone 3. Anti-Trigger says Wesley, hell, Home Alone 1 sucks. 2 Home Alone 1 sucks. How do anybody say Home Alone 1 sucks? Home Alone was one of the greatest movies of all time. Okay? Yeah, every comedy kind of stole from it for like the next 10 years. But when Home Alone came out, it was a freaking hilarious movie. You'd have to have no heart. You'd have to have no heart to say that Home Alone 1 sucked. How are you even qualified to comment on popular culture if you think Home Alone 1 sucked? That's ridiculous. That's crazy talk. That's like saying Indiana Jones sucked. The first one. Raiders. Wesley says Anti-Treeker, I disagree with you. Difference taste. Uncle Remus says Love Ranch was also another terrible Joe Pesci movie. Again, that's not one I've ever even heard of, let alone seen. Yosef says Anti-Treeker, you admitted that you do not like Kevin Costner movies, so I get it. Was it too much propaganda? Yosef Patrick with a $2 euro. Oh, show us your rant face. I'm so sorry. I forgot to go back. Wait, did you just call me pretty? That's a little disturbing. But thank you, Yosef, for reminding me to put the camera back on. I forgot. I like Kevin Costner movies. I didn't hate Waterworld, and I liked Postman. Postman's a good movie. It is objectively a good movie. I don't understand why anybody dislikes Postman. I can get why people dislike Waterworld, but I like it. It's okay with me. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest movie, but it's not a terrible movie. It gets far worse, far more crap than it deserves. I would take Waterworld over Face Off any day. I tell you that. I was not a fan of Face Off. I know Kevin Costner's not in Face Off. So why did he bring up Face Off? It has nothing to do with Waterworld. That's true, but it was just a movie that I thought about that people seem to like that I did not. Anti-Treeker says, Wesley, as long as they are by different, you mean sucks. I agree. Wesley's Anti-Treeker, but I was a kid when those came out. Chris M. Collecting says, Bird of Prey, Anti-Treeker has a Pearl Harbor survivor's license plate. I didn't think he was that old. Well, I'm surprised. The only thing I'm surprised that I don't think he lived in Hawaii. Anti-Treeker says, nobody gets over Macho Grande. Anti-Treeker says, that is why I have a drinking problem. Oh, there was a YouTube video I watched recently about how Airplane was different from, the movie it was the parody of Zero Dark or Zero Hour, something like that, a 1950s plane movie. I had no idea that it was that close. There are some scenes that are the same words, word for word. It was just one of those random videos YouTube suggested to me that I watched this week. It was great. Reminded me of all the funny parts of Airplane. Field of Dreams was a good movie. Waterworld, yeah, it wasn't bad. Waterworld wasn't bad. Wesley really liked Waterworld. Well, that's fine, Wesley, Not everybody has the same tastes. But to say that Jesus Christ. To say Home Alone sucked. What's next? You're going to say Back to the Future sucked? Ghostbusters sucked? I mean, come on. Miss Londell says Macho Grande will forever be a stain on our honor. And Joseph says, I get those references. Yay, I'm old. Angarimus says, Bird, surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley. Angarimus says, The Super is underrated Joe Pesci movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. I love that one. He gets sentenced to live in his own building. That was another great Joe Pesci movie. Joseph says, Joey, do you like movies about... Joey, do you like movies about gladiators? Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is flying co-pilot. He's like, my father thinks you're overrated or something. It sets him off. Oh. Stewardess, I speak jive. Can do airplane quotes for the next hour. I like my coffee like I like my men. Black. It was the little girl who said it. Oh. It's a big building with doctors. That's not important right now. I picked the wrong week to give up methamphetamines. Wesley says, you old farts. Thomas says, Anti-Treeker, remember to report to Bird of Prey to YouTube for shooting 2 pictures of you. He's promoting violence. Donnie Pearson says, you are welcome. Wesley says, I will be old someday. Well, let's hope so, Wes. Anti-Treeker says, Joe, have you ever seen a grown man naked? Unfortunately. Zethon says, Joe is leaving the forum company to work on Joe Bulletin. Angarimus says, God bless the millennials. One day they will become president. Hopefully I'll be 6 feet under when that happens. Yes, indeed. Schromer says, Anti-Treeker may be on Frank and Freddy's home movie. Angarimus says, Anti-Treeker, at least you're right about Fantasy Island. What a cool idea to bring Fantasy Island to the screen. Even if the movie is terrible, at least they tried a cool idea to make it a horror movie. Joseph says, looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Anti-Treeker says, Uncle Remus, yeah, I like that idea. Uncle Remus says, where is Tattoo? Where is Tattoo? Tato? Maybe an origin story? Oh, Tattoo on Fantasy Island? The midget? The little guy? I'm not supposed to say midget. The little person. The guy who says, the plane, the plane? The plane, the plane! That's hate speech. I'm sure that's hate speech. Oh, whoops. There goes the channel. Yosef says it's midnight, actually, Mama Pray. Sorry about that, Yosef. Wesley says the rain is turning to shit. No. The other S word. Anti-Treeker says, lol, we may get some snow in about an hour. Anti-Treeker says, same storm hit us first. Cinnabon Bunny says it snowed here yesterday. It's a balmy 19 degrees today. Wow. Sci-Fi Nation, Bird of Prey, we got 4 inches today in the middle of the mitten and still snowing out. Wow. Wesley says it's 78 out. You guys are crazy. Yosef says, I hate snow with a passion. And Sci-Fi Nation says it's 21 here now. Wesley says, I'm not sure what snow looks like. Yosef says 7 degrees Celsius. That's about, 20 degrees Fahrenheit? Alexa, what's 7 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Oh, shit, 44 degrees. That was way off. Oh, I forgot to add the 32. I added 5. I confused myself. Yosef says, Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Surf Tronics says, the good old days when we could throw snowballs at cars and not get our parents arrested. Wesley says it's 26 C by him. Why are you saying C, Wes? You're in California. Thomas says, there is proof Birdo Prey 5 lies. Sci-Fi Nation says, lol, Mamo Prey trolling on Bird. Joseph says, that's the minimum I'm actually considering acceptable, Wesley. Chris Purser says, Bird of Prey, you're not allowed to complain. A son always has to respect their mom. I respect her. Chris Purser says, Wesley, I see you're 26C and counter with minus 5C. What'd you say, Mom?
I was just joking.
Mom O'Prey was joking. She knows I don't lie. Wesley says, Chris Purser, nah, I would stay with 78 Fahrenheit. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, thank you, Bird. Anti-Treeker was mean to me. That bastard. Sci-Fi Nation says, you son of a bitch, Anti-Treeker. You take that back right now. It's not true, Mr. Vile. You son of a bitch, Anti-Treeker. You take that right back. It's not true, Mr. Miles. Home Alone 1 was a great movie. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I really liked Waterworld. Why did he have gills behind his ears? I don't think evolution works that fast. Yes. Surf Trektronic says, The Last Postman is one of the few books I recall reading from middle school. I didn't read it in middle school. I didn't read it at all. Sci-Fi Nation says Waterworld was good. Joseph says, I do not like John Woo's filming style. Even Mission Impossible 2 is my least favorite. I get your face off dislike. Gotcha. Sci-Fi Nation says Field of Dreams. Chris M. Collectin says, but Durham is a good movie. Okay. Anti-Treeker says, thank you, Mamo Prey. Hashtag Mamo Prey 5 works for Turtistan. That's not true. No, she denies that completely. Vehemently denies it. Sci-Fi Nation says Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas equals epicness. It was good. I'm okay with that. I'd give that a positive score. Thomas Potts is lolling at Anti-Treeker. Wesley says everyone Everyone hit 1 for Home Alone was bad, 2 if it was good. And everybody voted 2. 100% of the votes that came in were for 2. Wesley says, noticed I spelled 1 out. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, we should watch Airplane together. We could do an Airplane one day. a Saturday cinema with Airplane once we're done with Star Trek. Maybe we'll throw Airplane in between Star Trek and Star Wars. Of course, we'll have to do Airplane 1 and 2. Wesley, I never knew... Oh, I live near where... Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I live near where Fantasy Island was filmed. What'd you say? Mamo prays. I think that sounds nice. Joseph says, get that finger out of the ear. You don't know where that finger's been. Chris M says, Bird likes midgets because he can pat them on the head from his hospital bed. That's why I like Sassy. She comes over, I can pet her on the head. Anti-Treeker says, sorry, Bird, just because I'm not into watching slapstick that was done better by the Three Stooges and redone with 2 men trying to kill a little boy. They weren't trying to kill him, Anti-Treeker. They were just trying to rob his house, which, if you didn't notice, he was part of the 1%. I mean, who the hell has a house that big? They were just trying to get a piece of the pie. Anti-Treeker doesn't have a house that big. It has, 20 people in it? And there was still room? No. He was just... he was, those were just, they were misunderstood. They weren't even thieves. They're political prisoners when you think about it. They were just trying to redistribute the wealth. Joseph says, now you're bragging, Wesley. Thomas Potts says, a plane slid off the runway in Chicago from the snow. I blame DJ. He didn't shovel. Good enough. Ms. Lundell says it's 35 and drizzly, about to snow, flurries in Dallas. I'm sorry to hear that. Uncle Remus says, do you think Airplane 2 is part of Star Trek canon since Shatner is in it? I'd like to think it is. No bridge. I forgot the whole thing. But that was a funny line. Sci-Fi Nation says no. That's like saying Twilight Zone is. That's true. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I've been to that house. Okay. John Moore says, best or one of the best Joe Pesci movies, My Cousin Vinny. Absolutely. Absolutely. My Cousin Vinny. Yes. Hughes was serious about that. The 2 Utes. The 2 what? The 2 Utes. Do the laws of physics not apply in your kitchen? Why does it take the entire grit-eating world 20 minutes to boil their grits? Do you use instant grits? No self-respecting Southerner uses instant grits. Yeah, Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei, fellow alumni of my high school. Edward R. Murrow High School out of Brooklyn, New York. Marissa Tomei graduated, I think, 8 years before me. And now she plays in the MCU as Aunt May. And I think a certain crazy Russian wants to see her naked. Although I don't think he's crazy for wanting to see her naked. I think he's crazy besides wanting to see her naked. Anti-Treeker says, Sci-Fi Nation, actually you could argue that Airplane 2 is Star Trek canon since they have the same props as on regular 1, the lights blinking out of sequence. Uncle Remus says Peter Dinklage should appear as Tattoo in the Fantasy Island movie, except that Peter Dinklage doesn't play parts that call for a dwarf. He wants to play parts that could be anybody where he just happens to be, a little person, as they say. Miss Londell says just because Shatner's in something doesn't make it Trek canon. You're trying to ruin the fun, Miss Londell. You're saying the Saturday Night Live skit where Shatner played himself at a convention isn't canon now? Not Ryan Johnson says, there goes Bird excusing theft. Must be a Krogan thing. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, the Fantasy Island house. I understood what you meant. I have no idea what it looks like in my head. I don't ever remember watching Fantasy Island. Sci-Fi Nation says, Anti-Treeker by that logic. So is every B-grade sci-fi that used that recycled Battlestar Galactica is BSG canon. Oh, recycled props from Battlestar Galactica. Miss Lundell says he's also piss poor television show called Tech Wars. Guess what? Not Trek canon either. Uncle Remus says Shatner is Trek. Sci-Fi Nation says Mel Torme's daughter. Is she? I honestly don't think so. Joseph Petrick says Murdoch. We better get to the tower. We have no tower. No tower? Just a bridge, sir. Why the hell aren't I notified about these things? Yes. So TJ Hooker is not canon. I am sorry, TJ Hooker is not. Chris M. Collecting says TJ Hooker is Star Trek canon. Prove him wrong. I can't do it. Guys, so here's the deal. I wanted to do Dear Bops tonight, but I went a little later. It took a little longer than I thought. So I'm going to have to do a standalone video. I promise I will do a Dear Bop video. I will get it out tomorrow. And I apologize. We can't do Dear Bop tonight. My bad. This is about where I need to cut it off. Sis O'Prey is here. She's inside waiting for me to stop talking. Mike Richards' Bird of Prey, completely off topic. How many Dear Bop letters are we up to now? Honestly, I haven't even checked. I saw there was another handful in a couple days ago, and I can't check now. Oh, wait, can I check? Let's see if the password's saved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It appears that we've got 7 Dear Bops as of right now. I haven't read most of them. So we'll do a dedicated Dear Bop video tomorrow. Wesley says, no Dear Bop. I'm sorry, Wes. Anti-Treeker says, of course she denies it. She would be a really lousy spy if she admitted it. Sci-Fi Nation Bird of Prey standalone vid, better for channel. Wesley, Bird of Prey, please have it out by 12 noon. I will do my best, Wes. I will do my best. Sci-Fi Nation says, great stream as always, bud. Live long and alpaca, everyone. Live long and alpaca, Sci-Fi Nation. Uncle Remus says, what about Bob? What About Bob was a good movie, but it didn't have Joe Pesci in it, did it? It had Bill Murray. Joseph Patrick says, greetings to Sis O'Prey. From her fans she despises. She doesn't despise you guys. Not Ryan Johnson says, no Dear Bop unsub. Don't worry, the Dear Bop's coming. I'll try to get it out for early tomorrow, guys. I really will. So with that, guys, have a very good night. Thank you so much. Don't forget, Anti-Treeker comes on tonight in, I guess, a couple hours or so. So stick around for that. And we will, I'll talk to you guys soon. Qapla. Good night. Take care. Sis O'Prey does not hate you. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything BirdoPrey5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.